Talks have intensified, and that he tweeted out that what he's heard is 13 years for $425 million. And Hector has been a long time the reporter for covering Major League Baseball from the Dominican Republic, and Juan Soto's from the DR as well. And then Brittany Giroli, who works for The Athletic, she tweeted out that those numbers might not be accurate and that there's a pending potential sale involved. And so she is one of probably the multiple reports that Jesse was referring to there, where he was saying that the 13 for 425, those numbers, or they're being told, they're not accurate. So just to put it all on the table there, where we got the numbers and what's being said about it and attributing the reports to the reporters. Let me ask you, as a general manager, what would you do?
Well, lest we forget, this was the club that did not sign Bryce Harper, so let's start from there.
Right.
And I understand why they didn't do that. Because of where they are in their progression, I think this is a team that is, there's no question about it, they are trying to develop and rebuild. And I just don't think that this club has enough pieces to be able to sign this guy for a long-term, unless they think that the sale will be a better sale with him as a signed player. I can't see that happening business-wise. I got to trade the guy. Okay. Because I think you got to trade him. He's going to bring a boatload. He's one of the best players on the planet. He's young. He's under control. I mean, to me, this might be the most valuable piece that would be available. I don't know if you try to trade him now during the trade deadline, because there might be some other guys out there. We talked about Brian Reynolds. We talked about some other outfielders that might be available. But to me, I would move him, and it would just be too difficult for me to sign him. You can't win with one player. This is the major leagues. It takes 26 players to win championships.
But real quick, just a little bit more information. So he'll be a free agent after 2024. So they'll have him for two more years after this year. So what are your thoughts, Anthony, here on? I mean, can you, if you move Juan Soto, then who's your star that people are coming to pay to come see?
You don't have one.
No.
You don't have one at all. And with where this organization is at, Ruben touched on it, you don't see a lot of other pieces right now. So I could see the sense in trading him. I could see trying to bring in a lot more pieces because they need a lot to get to that level where they can compete. That said, trading a talent like Juan Soto, who really is generational. This guy, although the numbers are down this year, the average is down, the on-base percentage is not well over 450 like it's been each of the last two seasons. The power is, he's still showing some of that, but I have a hard time swallowing if I'm a player in that clubhouse and I'm going to be around this organization for any more years and they trade away Juan Soto. I'm thinking to myself, what do we do? Are we trying at all? Are we trying at all? And that, I think, is that balance that they're going to have to try to figure out as the front office. If we trade this guy away, what message are we sending to the guys that we have in that clubhouse right now? Unless you get a return that is semi-immediate. You get some players that not necessarily are in the big leagues now, but are ready to contribute very quickly. You're really sending a message to some of those players that not only are we not competing, but we're not planning on competing for a little while. And I don't know. That's a tough one to swallow as a player.
So let me ask you. So Hector says 13 for 425, and then other reporters, Jesse and Brittany, said those numbers aren't accurate. What's it going to take?
Well, I think this is going to be somewhere between the 350 and 400 mark for me. I don't think there's any question about that. And he's so young. I can't imagine that he wouldn't do anything more than that he wouldn't do a deal that's less than 10 years. Yeah. So you're looking at probably 12 years. Maybe 380 to 400.
And you think after Mike Trout got the extension for what he got, I'm not saying he's Mike Trout, but Mike got almost $450 million, that he's going to, and here it is. $426 million
but he's not Mike Trout.
That's true.
I think he's a great player. Okay. I think he's a very, very young.
Lindor, Mookie Betts?
I think we're looking at Mookie Betts type money. Okay. Maybe a little north of that.
Okay.
Somewhere between Mookie Betts and Mike Trout. That's where I'm at.
All right.
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
And it only takes one.
Just takes one. It just takes one.
Hey, look, it's an interesting conversation to have because at some point something's going to go down big with Juan Soto, whether he gets moved or not, or whether he gets the deal.